Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning with a crystal clear sense of purpose. You're not swayed by setbacks. You're not shaken by chaos. You're not chasing distractions. Instead, you're calm, focused, and deeply committed to the work that truly matters. Sounds almost superhuman, doesn't it? Yet, this wasn't the fantasy of a comic book hero. This was the lived reality of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in ancient history. He wasn't just a Roman emperor. He was also a Stoic philosopher whose private writings, now known as meditations, have survived for nearly 2,000 years. These writings are not just the musings of a ruler. They are practical, timeless instructions on how to live a life of resilience, wisdom, and above all, self-discipline. And here's why this matters for you today. In a world overflowing with noise, temptations, and instant gratification, self-discipline has become a rare and priceless virtue. Without it, we're at the mercy of distractions, impulses, and other people's opinions. But with it, we gain clarity, strength, and the ability to stay the course no matter what storms life throws at us. That's why in this video, we're going to explore 10 Stoic principles from Marcus Aurelius that can help you build unshakable self-discipline. These are not abstract theories. They are tools, practical strategies you can apply today to sharpen your mind, control your impulses, and live with greater purpose. So if you're ready to stop being pulled around by distractions and start mastering yourself, stay with me until the very end. Because the last principle we'll cover is one of the most powerful habits Marcus Aurelius practiced daily, and if you adopt it, it can transform your life. Principle 1. Show up every day. Marcus Aurelius knew that greatness is not built in rare bursts of brilliance, but in the quiet, steady rhythm of showing up each day. He reminded himself constantly, do today's work today. To him, nature itself demanded not just that we exist, but that we participate, contribute, and stay engaged with life, no matter how small the task. Think about it. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can sprint for a week. But true self-discipline is about consistency. It's about the choice you make when no one's watching, to keep going, to keep showing up, even when the spark of motivation fades. In today's world, this principle matters more than ever. We live in a culture obsessed with quick wins, viral success, instant results, overnight fame. But Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the path to mastery is less glamorous. It's about steady effort, stacked day after day, until the weight of consistency transforms your life. So, what does showing up look like for you? It doesn't have to be massive. It could mean writing just one page of that book you've been meaning to start. It could mean going for a 10-minute walk every morning. It could mean spending 15 undistracted minutes connecting with your family. The act itself is less important than the habit of showing up. Each time you do, you reinforce your willpower and strengthen your character.
So principle number first is this. Discipline is not about occasional intensity. It's about daily consistency. Show up, even in small ways, and let those small steps compound into greatness.
Principle 2. Find your purpose. Marcus Aurelius believed that self-discipline begins with a question, what is my purpose? He often wrote about living in agreement with nature. In Stoic philosophy, this doesn't mean hugging trees or retreating into the wilderness. It means discovering your unique role in the larger order of life and aligning your actions with that purpose. For Aurelius, purpose wasn't a lofty dream or a vague wish. It was a daily compass. It was what pushed him out of bed each morning and what guided his decisions, big and small. Even as emperor, surrounded by distractions and luxuries, he constantly reminded himself, am I living true to my purpose? Am I fulfilling the duties life has placed before me? And here's the truth. Without purpose, discipline feels like punishment. It feels like forcing yourself to grind without meaning. But once you find your purpose, discipline becomes freedom. It becomes a natural extension of who you are and what you're meant to do. Think about our modern world. We're bombarded with endless choices, new jobs, new gadgets, new paths, new distractions. It's easy to confuse activity with meaning. We chase what's flashy, we scroll endlessly, we get pulled in 100 different directions. But purpose cuts through the noise. Purpose gives you direction. So how do you find it? Start by asking, what am I naturally drawn to? What problems am I motivated to solve? What activities leave me feeling fulfilled rather than drained? These are clues. Once you have even a rough sense of your purpose, the Stoic practice of daily reflection becomes essential. Every morning, ask yourself, what am I meant to do today? Every evening, reflect, did I live in alignment with my purpose? This practice does two things. First, it keeps you honest. You can't hide from yourself when you reflect daily. Second, it strengthens your discipline because you're constantly realigning your actions with your deeper calling.
So the second Stoic principle is simple but powerful. Find your purpose and let it be your compass. Without it, discipline feels like a burden. With it, discipline becomes the fuel for a meaningful life.
Principle 3. Embrace discomfort. Marcus Aurelius lived as an emperor, but he often chose simplicity and hardship. Why? Because he knew that comfort weakens us, while discomfort strengthens us. He practiced what Stoics called voluntary hardship, choosing to deny himself certain luxuries, enduring physical challenges, and training his mind to be steady even in pain. He knew life would inevitably bring discomfort, so better to prepare for it than be destroyed by it. Think about your own life. We live in the most comfortable age in human history. Endless food, endless entertainment, climate control at the touch of a button. Yet, ironically, people feel more anxious, restless, and weak-willed than ever before. Why? Because comfort has dulled our edge. The Stoic solution: embrace discomfort on purpose. Skip a meal to appreciate food more. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Wake up earlier than you need to. Choose the hard path now so that when life forces hardship upon you, you're already trained. And here's the secret: discomfort isn't punishment, it's empowerment. Each time you embrace it, you expand your tolerance, your gratitude, and your resilience.
So principle 3, don't avoid discomfort, seek it. Train your mind and body to be strong so that when storms come, you are ready.
Principle 4, rely on yourself. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself often, you have power over your mind, not outside events. In other words, the foundation of your discipline is you. This doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others, but it does mean recognizing that the ultimate responsibility for your growth, your actions, and your integrity rests within you. In today's world, it's easy to outsource responsibility. We look to influencers, gurus, and endless advice columns to tell us what to do, but Stoicism says, learn to trust your own judgment. Learn to stand on your own feet. Start small, make commitments, and keep them. Prove to yourself you can rely on your own word. Ask yourself in each decision, am I doing this because it aligns with my values or because I crave approval?
Each time you choose self-reliance, your discipline grows. You become less swayed by the crowd, less tossed around by opinion. You become steady because your foundation is within you. So principle 4, count on yourself. Build your own integrity. Let your reason, not the crowd, guide your discipline. Principle 5, control what you can, release what you can't. One of the cornerstones of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Marcus Aurelius wrote again and again about this. He reminded himself, don't waste energy raging at things outside your influence. The weather, other people's actions, the tides of politics, the shifting of fortune. None of these are truly yours to command. What is in your control? Your judgments, your actions, your choices, your response. Think about how much stress we carry because we cling to things we can't control. Someone cuts us off in traffic, and our whole mood is ruined. A colleague criticizes us, and we obsess over their opinion. Markets crash, leaders argue, storms roll in, and we feel powerless. But Aurelius offers freedom in a single thought. Focus only on what's yours to command. This doesn't mean you stop caring about the world. It means you channel your effort where it makes a difference. Your behavior, your virtues, your discipline. So practice this. The next time you feel frustration rising, pause and ask, is this within my control? If yes, act wisely. If no, let it go. That simple shift reduces anxiety, builds focus, and sharpens discipline. Because when you stop chasing the uncontrollable, you free up energy to master yourself. So Principle 5, guard your energy. Focus on what's in your hands, release the rest, and your discipline will grow unshakable. Principle 6, practice delayed gratification. We live in an age of instant everything. Instant food, instant shopping, instant entertainment. And yet the Stoics knew a truth we've almost forgotten. Freedom is not indulging every desire. Freedom is mastery over desire. Marcus Aurelius practiced restraint. He warned against becoming a slave to fleeting pleasures, because when you can't say no to impulses, you're not free, you're controlled by them. Discipline grows when we practice delayed gratification, the ability to hold off a short-term pleasure for a long-term reward. In modern terms, this might mean saving money instead of spending it impulsively, choosing a healthy meal instead of fast food, studying a skill instead of endless scrolling. Each time you choose the long-term over the immediate, you strengthen your self-discipline. You prove to yourself that you are in control, not your cravings. And the payoff? Long-term fulfillment, better health, stronger finances, sharper skills, deeper relationships. So Principle 6, restrain the impulse, delay the reward, choose the path that serves your future self, not just your present craving. Principle 7, refuse the victim mentality. Life will hand you setbacks, losses, betrayals, disappointments, failures. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, plagues, and endless political strife, but he refused to play the victim. He believed that every obstacle was an opportunity, a chance to practice courage, patience, wisdom. Here's the trap. When we fall into the victim mentality, we surrender our power. We say life is unfair. The world is against me. I can't do anything. But Stoicism flips the script. It says, you don't control what happens, but you always control how you respond. Think of a failed business, a broken relationship, a rejection letter. The victim says, why me? The Stoic says, what now? How can I grow? What virtue can I practice here? This shift is liberating because you no longer wait for the world to treat you fairly before you act. You take ownership. You choose your response. So Principle 7, never surrender to the victim mentality. See every challenge as a chance to build your discipline and your character. Principle 8, ignore the naysayers. Even as emperor, Marcus Aurelius faced critics. And if the ruler of Rome couldn't avoid criticism, neither can we. But the Stoic answer is simple. Don't let naysayers steer your life. The opinions of others are outside your control. What's in your control? Your actions, your values, your integrity. This doesn't mean ignoring constructive feedback. It means filtering wisely. Ask, is this criticism informed? Is it well-meaning? Does it align with my principles? If yes, learn from it. If no, discard it. In today's world of social media, opinions fly faster than ever. One cruel comment can derail your focus if you let it. But Aurelius would remind you, true peace comes from within, not from applause or approval. So Principle 8, let go of the noise. Stay anchored to your path, your purpose, your discipline. Principle 9, learn from the wise. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about his admiration for others, mentors, teachers, and fellow philosophers. He believed wisdom was best learned not from abstract ideas, but from living examples. To emulate the wise doesn't mean copying them. It means observing their character, their habits, their way of facing challenges, and using that as inspiration to refine your own. So ask yourself, who embodies the discipline I want to build? Who lives with courage, justice, or temperance in a way I admire? Choose your role models carefully. Don't just admire wealth or fame. Look for integrity, look for resilience, look for wisdom. In practice, this might mean studying the life of a philosopher, a leader, or even someone close to you who lives with quiet strength. Each example gives you a roadmap. So Principle 9, surround yourself with the influence of the wise. Let their example sharpen your own discipline. Principle 10, reflect daily. Finally, Marcus Aurelius ended his days with reflection. His meditations were exactly that, nightly reviews of his actions, thoughts, and struggles. Reflection isn't about harsh judgment, it's about awareness. Ask yourself each evening, did I live by my values today? Where did I lose focus? What can I do better tomorrow? This habit turns each day into a lesson. It prevents mistakes from becoming patterns. It builds accountability, not through guilt, but through clarity. In our fast-paced world, reflection is rare. We rush from one distraction to the next. But slowing down for even 5 minutes can transform your growth. So Principle 10, end your day with reflection. Let each night refine your discipline and prepare you for tomorrow. So let's step back. 10 Stoic principles, each one a tool for building unshakable self-discipline. Show up every day, find your purpose, embrace discomfort, rely on yourself, focus only on what you can control, delay gratification, refuse the victim mindset, ignore the naysayers, learn from the wise, reflect daily. Marcus Aurelius practiced these not as theories, but as habits, and you can too. Remember, discipline is not about punishing yourself. It's about freedom. The freedom to live by your values, not your impulses. The freedom to stay steady when the world is chaotic. The freedom to live a life of purpose. So start small. Pick one principle and practice it today. Because every day you practice, you build the strength of mind and spirit that Marcus Aurelius lived by. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe and join our community of seekers who are choosing wisdom over noise and discipline over distraction. As Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Until next time. Keep living intentionally, keep practicing discipline, and keep walking the Stoic path.